Decoding Skills Development Legislation with your host, Darren Vandenberg. Hi, we are continuing our discussion on the different legislation for learning in South Africa, based on the QCTO policies and procedures, which are pretty well benchmarked internationally. The more research I do, the more I see how it's linked to the European Union learning development policies, as well as some of the Far East policies. Some really good stuff going on here. Tonight I'm continuing discussing the general principles and medium requirements of e-assessment for qualifications on the QCTO. It's quite a good document. Going to carry on a few more glossaries of terms, which I'm finding pretty intriguing. So the terms I want to discuss are assessment, assessment center, and assessment site tonight. Okay, so assessment, this says this. Assessment is the process of collecting evidence of learners' work to measure and make judgments about the competence or non-competence of specified national qualifications framework, occupation standards qualifications, or part qualifications. Simply what that means is your learner needs to create a portfolio of evidence that demonstrates knowledge, understanding, and skill through an applied competence assessment. That portfolio will have a set of artifacts attached to it. It could be video, it could be audio, it could be written tests, it could be creating a web page. Really, it could be anything. But it's all linked to the specific standards of the qualification or part qualification. And these you can find online at the QCTO or on sacco.org.za. And that's what an assessment is. So assessment is literally finding the person competent or not competent. Assessment is not coaching, which means that if I assess you, I literally need to look at your evidence against the assessment criteria and go, yes, you can, no, you can't, or the evidence is not clear, please try again. Assessment is not, no, you can't, and here's how you need to learn how to, and let me coach you and let me mentor you. That is where everything falls apart. And it's one of the reasons why the QCTO is not overly excited about the trainer or the facilitator being the assessor, because it's very difficult to remain objective if you're assessing your own work. Cool. Next one is the Assessment Center, which is a center accredited by the QCTO for the purpose of conducting external integrated summative assessments for the NQF registered occupational qualification. So assessment center is bricks and mortar somewhere that the learner or the candidate for qualification would go and do a final integrated assessment after being assessed on a portfolio of evidence. But the really exciting part is they've also created something called an assessment site, which is slightly different to an assessment center. An assessment site is any site selected as suitable and approved by the relevant assessment quality partner or AQP to conduct an external integrated summative assessment for specific registered occupationals and part qualifications where the assessment specifications do not require the use of an accredited assessment center. So what becomes exciting here is that if you're doing highly skilled occupations, for example, waiter and bartender, firefighting, or anything that requires that type of a skill, to do the final assessment, they don't necessarily have to go out to an assessment center. You can register your restaurant, your bar, you can register your sewing room, you can register your fire station as an assessment site. Now, that's exciting, because then the learners can build their portfolios on learning, get assessed on learning, get their statement of results, and then go to an assessment site to do the final summative integrated assessment, as long as that's aligned with your assessment quality partner. Right here. Have a good one. We'll chat again soon. Bye.